Hello, wonderful people. I hope you guys had a magnificent Tuesday because I think that no matter where you're located, we're done with the day, right? It's almost that time. If you're on the other side of the world, of course, you're already on another day, so good morning to you. My name's Raul. Thank you guys for joining me on my Facebook page on this live. As you guys know, I go live Monday through Friday. And I know you can see I just got my cut, so I just wanted to get my haircut first and then come and talk to you. And as you guys can see, I'm using my wife's background, which I know you guys love. So maybe that's gonna give me a little bit more hearts. But here I am. If you guys saw the header, what do I want to share with you guys today on this Tuesday, on this Tipsy Tips Tuesday? I want to share with you guys something very important. My wife and I were having a conversation today. We hit the road. We went to San Gabriel Valley, did a couple of things, and we're just talking. We're able to catch up and have some conversations and talk about the various things that are going on in our lives. And one thing that came up there was so much good material. A lot of things that we talked were like, things that oh my God, I have all these ideas in my head that I want to share with you guys. But one thing that is for sure, if you read the header, is make radical changes if you want radical results. That's a way that I can put it that I hope you understand. Or make radical changes so you can get magical results. Doesn't that sound wonderful? Hey Sarah, how are you? Welcome to my live. Thanks for joining. So yeah, that's really what it's all about. Like if I look back, the best things that have happened to my life, the biggest, most important things, the most beautiful things, those things that I really love have happened because of these magical changes, right? Think of it this way. Let's keep it very simple. You have a child, your first son, your daughter, a new baby is born. Isn't that a magical change? Right? A radical, huge deal. It's a big deal. First of all, the mother is pregnant for how many months? And she has to go through all these changes in her body, in herself, in her, in everything, in her mind, in her mentality. Only they can express to you, only women can express to you everything that they go through, which I so admire it, right? My wife and I, we have two boys, and I remember, being, how it was for her with her pregnancies and being there in the delivery room and just waiting for them babies and just how it happened. I remember my first one, we had to induce her, so it was a little bit not super delayed, but she had to be induced, and it was our firstborn. And the second one was an easier birth process. So you see all that, it's just crazy, right? So for a child to be born, there has to be a radical change. And what happens? You get a magical moment, a magical thing happening in your life. So that's how life is going to work. So keep that in mind, because as you walk through the path of this life, this wonderful life that we live in, as you walk through the path, you're going to have to make some important decisions. I don't want to say tough decisions. I want to say important, special decisions, right? Let's rephrase that. Let's get rid of that, difficult, right? Because, that's how we get the biggest results, right? For those that believe in evolution or that believe there was a big bang, let's just scratch the fact whether you believe that is true or not. Just the fact that, oh my God, all these compositions of all these chemicals and gases and all these things had to happen, and then the earth blew up, and don't paraphrase me, I'm no scientist, I have no clue what I'm talking about when it comes to that, but it's like this amazing explosion had to happen, and then everything falls into place. Well, we're talking about something huge, right? Think about it this way. If you believe that God created the earth, right, and you went through all the stages that the Genesis describes, and just so you know, so many cultures have their own Genesis, and they're all very similar, right? So I think we can all agree, like, wow, the process of creation was amazing, right? So those were all radical changes. And what do we have? We have an amazing, magical world. So, thank you. Thank you for that good broadcasting. Thank you for joining. I'm glad you're doing fine. I'm glad you're doing great. I really love your stuff. I saw that that picture you posted with your son. It's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful team you guys make. So, we need those things to happen in our life. So I want you guys to be ready and always looking forward to the next big change you're gonna encounter. What is gonna happen is gonna take you to the next level. We have to be open to that. The more time that has passed, the more I've been on the personal development path or worrying about my growth path, learning and studying, the more I've been able to, the more I have, what do you say, I've gotten used to, or I started looking into or observing what is going to be the next change in my life. The next radical change is going to take me to the next level. Now, something that's really important and how all of this came up. Some people, some of us, sometimes in our life, we're stuck in a rut. We're stuck in a place where we really need change. We're stuck in a place where we need to escape. We wanted to, if we wish that we can go to sleep one day, one night, and just wake up and things disappear, right? But guess what? Things don't really work that way. Unfortunately, they don't, right? Things don't happen by magic. We need to put some work into it. We need to make something happen. Something has to give in order for things to change, right? So, if you are in a bad place, in a dark place, in a rut, going through a lot of insecurities, you're going through big changes that are difficult. We have, think of it this way, like when families get split and separated, when people lose their children or something like that happens. This is a very difficult process, and we're here with you. But I want you to I want to share with you the fact that once you hit a bottom, or once something goes really bad, there's only one way to go, and that is up. Once you hit bottom, once you go through a really dark place, there's only one way to go: towards the light, towards the progress, towards the growth, towards the change. But we need to make radical changes. Now, one reason why it's super important to make radical changes is because, and I say this all the time to people, is that if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over, but you're expecting different results, you are considered insane, right? That's the explanation for insanity. Doing the same things over and over, expecting different results. So we need to make radical changes to get magical results. I really like the magical one. The magical part's the best. So let your focus be on the magical results. Let your focus be on the changes that are going to come to you. Let your focus be on, I see myself like you see yourself in your vision board, which I hope you have a vision board, right? Put there all the things that you want. Where do you want to travel? What kind of car you want? What kind of house you want? If you want more than one house, you want to start with one. This is what I want my first house to look. What kind of pet do I have? What kind of family picture do I want? If you don't have kids yet, what I want my kids to look like? What I want to bring into my life. Simple things and hard things, or difficult things, or things that are more out there, short term or long term. Let's start creating that vision board and putting that there in your place, in your office, in your room, in where you do your makeup, where you have your things, your colognes, your clothes, whatever, guys, wherever it is that you're going to be able to see it on the way out from your house. So every time that you leave your place, you see there's a vision board that's reminding you, this is what I want to happen in my life. This is what I want to attract. This is what I want to bring. That's super important to have, correct? So there's so many things that you can do there. You can post a little picture. You can do cut off from magazines or newspapers. You can type things up. You can download pages and then print them out. You can draw things out. You can put a lottery ticket there, a blank check. You can get a blank check, a voided check, and just write the amount that you want. How much is it that you want to make a year? What kind of job do you want? What kind of people do you want around you? What kind of changes are you trying to make? It's important to put that out there. It's important, but there's a magic behind the vision board. And the process of making one is beautiful. And if you have someone that you can get together and do it with, colleagues, friends, a partner, whatever, kids even, that it's going to be a wonderful experience, right? You can even have like a Zoom party. That's usually what we do. We either have a get together, but because of COVID, there's been like Zoom parties where you guys get together, people have a drink, there's a little music, and everybody's working on their vision board. So ideally, okay, but don't get stuck in the details. Don't get stuck in the rules. Don't make your life more difficult than already it is sometimes. Make it simple for yourself. Ideally, you want to start working on your board in September. September is the last quarter of the year. business wise, talking business, last quarter of the year for the new year to begin. So that board is ready in January. But I mean, don't get caught up. If you want to do your board January 1st, if you want to do it on the last week of December, if you're working on it right now in November, who cares? The point is that you get started and you hop on the train of the vision board. But anyways, that's enough for the vision board. But make magical changes to get magical results. Make radical changes, to get magical results. If you never had a vision board, then maybe it's your time to make that change. All these little changes that we do, they change our lives. For example, I talk a lot about changing your thinking to change your life. There's something that we're doing, something that we need to do different in order to get us to that place that we want to go. And it has to be something a little bit different, right? So, for example, let me give you guys another little tip that could be a change that's not so radical, but it's going to bring magical results. If you have a lot going on in your life and you have a lot of tasks, and sometimes you feel like you're not being successful in accomplishing all the things you have to do in a day, it's super important to just get yourself a little checklist. Two ways that you can do this. One, you can make your checklist for the next day at nighttime. So before you go to sleep, before you watch some Netflix, before the day ends, you can make your list of things that you want to do tomorrow. Or tomorrow morning, in the morning, you wake up early, hopefully, and you make your list of the things you got to do. The checklist is something that is so important for a couple of reasons. One, you're putting down everything that you need to do, and while you're making that, you're going to start thinking of like, oh, shoot, I got to put this down. Oh, that's right, I got to do this. You're not going to put a million things there. Let's be smart about it. You're going to put in a few things, even easy ones, okay? Why? Because when you scratch that off your list, guess what happens? You get in the habit of getting things done from your list. One. Two, you're going to get confidence. You're going to feel successful. You're going to feel like you're accomplishing things. And that's super important because this world, there's so much negativities around us that where people point out all of the bad things that we do, but they don't point out the good things that we do. Therefore, we need to give ourselves some love, some kudos, some cookies. Help yourself out by loving yourself daily. And you can put that on your checklist. Make sure you get it done. So a checklist is that's a radical maybe, because if you never had a checklist, you're like, what the hell is this? But that's a radical change that you can do that's going to bring magical results. Okay? That way you don't forget about the things that are important and you are a little bit more organized. I've done many trainings in the past for my wife's team of people, and I'm going to do them again, especially now that I started a new venture. Once again, I'm back in working from home as well, which I was just waiting for this opportunity to come through, and finally, thankfully, it came. Again, I put it on my vision board and it happened. Now that I am building a team of people who are willing, who are coachable, who are hungry, I'm going to be shooting all this wisdom to them, right? Whoever wants it, come and get it. I'm here, right? But I'm going to be shooting this wisdom, and I'm going to be doing trainings. I'm going to show you guys how you're able to prioritize. What are the teachings from the greats about prioritizing and getting things done? Because sometimes you think you have to do everything, but no, sometimes you need to delegate. You need to give those tasks to someone else, right? For example, in business, if the boss does everything, then what's the point for the rest of the team, right? Or the leader does everything, what's the point for the rest of the team? One of the goals as a leader is to make more leaders, right? You're not threatened by great people with talent. No, you're like stimulated and you love people with talent. Why? Because what you're going to do is you're going to coach them, train them, show them, and get them on their way so they can build their empire. And they're going to do this with so many people. That's the number one goal for a leader, is to develop leaders around them, right? And these leaders, all of us, what we do is we delegate to people tasks, and then we start training people, coaching them, walking them on the path to success. But everything starts with being coachable, being willing, being hungry, wanting it, wanting that radical change to come to your life so you can have some magical results. And that's the only way we're going to do it, is if we do something different. Something different than our parents did, something different than what we learned in life, in the beginning, in school, whatever it is, So it's about deciding now, guys, now as an adult, now as a person who's like facing life, and this is where you're at right now in the present. Okay, where am I? What do I want to do with my life? Have I figured that out yet? Yes, I did. Perfect. I have all these things that I love and I want to do. Great. Let me get organized. How am I going to be able to get these things done? Just the thought of it could be overwhelming, but we need to make that change to get organized, because that radical change to get organized, which some people have a problem with, it's going to make you have magical results to get everything that you want done. And you're going to be able to see, like, you know what, maybe this is not such a good idea for me. Maybe this is not a priority. Maybe I can schedule this, or maybe I should do this some other time, or someone else can do this for me, right? So along the path, we're going to find all different things that we love, which I think is super important. Another thing we talked with my wife today on the way is another thing that's been going through my head. I share my post in the morning is some of those things that I want to go hard on, those things that I really want to work on, those things that I want to excel on. One of them is identity. I put it twice on my list of things. Why twice? Because identity is everything. Identity is who you are, really. Right? So identity is who you are. So it's super important to find your identity. Why? Guys, the sooner that you find your identity, the more comfortable that you're going to be in what? Your own shoes. Think about this. Think about this. A lot of times as we are growing up, we're trying to figure out who the hell we are. And school doesn't teach you who you are, right? You saw my post from the morning. I tell you, there's things that we learn in school, everything except those things that matter. Hola, Teresa. How are you? Thanks for joining. Just so you know, I'm live Monday through Friday, so I hope to see you more often. Just kidding. Come and support the page. But anyways, you know, what do we learn in school? We learn all these things. Yes, I need to learn how to count. Yes, I need to learn how to spell, grammar, blah, 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 history. Okay, fine. I'm not going to go into the educational system, but what about those things that really matter once you, like, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, oh my God, like, life is like the world is falling on you. What do? We don't know anything about finances. We don't know anything about relationships. We don't know communication. We don't know conflict resolution. We don't know if you are in a domestic violence relationship or not. And these are serious things, right? Parenting, serious things, right? Financial literacy, learning about money, right? Super important. And they don't teach it to us. Guess what, guys? You're an adult now. It is up to you to go and look for that information to change your life. So make the radical change so you can get magical results. The radical change of learning on your own. You don't need to go to school. You don't need to have a teacher. You don't need to have a coach. There's a lot of things that you're going to need, right, to help you build. But there's so much that you can do on your own. If you were stuck in a cave for a year with nothing but books, even if you hate reading, after a while, well, you do have food and water, don't worry, but there's no TV, there's nothing else, only books. I bet you anything that you have tons of books, you're going to start, okay, I hate reading, so let me find something that I'm okay with. Fine, boom. This I like, okay, boom. Guess what? After a while of reading what you like, and you develop a special interest, like, oh, there's something I want to learn. There you go. You start reading, you start loving reading, you start enjoying reading. So you have to get yourself to try things that you're uncomfortable with. You have to get yourself to work outside of your comfort zone. You don't want to go live, you need to go live. You don't want to talk to people, go talk to people. Let me tell you guys a little. Everything I'm telling you is stuff that matters a lot to me because I've gone through it, I'm going through it, and I see results in it. Okay, and I firmly believe in it. But think of it this way, right? So I could be a little bit of an introvert. What that means is that, yeah, I like to be left alone. I like to not so much have to deal with people all the time. I don't want to be your greatest talk. Now, I always was the life of the party. I mean, I was that guy that was just cool, right? But at the same time, I love, being by myself and learning and reading. There's also that side of me where I could be in a cave with a lamp, with an oil lamp or a little light, a little candle, and it's just reading and studying books, and really, like, I love learning, I love wisdom and everything, because it fills me up inside. It makes me feel alive. It makes me feel worthy. I love learning to give back, right? So, I can be a very much of an introvert, and that's the reason why I didn't want to start this business venture I started recently. But I really knew it was time. I really knew I was ready. I already knew I needed to make that uncomfortable decision. And I even told my wife, okay, I need to do this. I'm going to do this. This is the one. But Oh, I kind of don't want to do it because I don't want to talk to people. Okay, but guess what? Anyways, I jumped for it and I did it because I knew that when I make the radical decision to go and do what I don't want to do, I'm going to get magical results. So what am I doing now, guys? I'm over here excited talking to you guys Monday through Friday on a live. I didn't know how the hell I was going to start doing this again, but I have so much content. I mean, I talk to a lot of you guys personally. I love talking to people. I love helping people. I'll jump on a messenger, on a call. I have time for everybody anytime. I'll manage. But it could be uncomfortable when you're not ready to jump on a live and to do this and to do that, because if you want to expand your network, your business and everything, you need to go out and do it. You just need to go hard and do it. So these are the radical results that I want. So I need to make the radical changes. So stop being afraid of making the changes. Stop being afraid of being uncomfortable. Stop being afraid of being scared. Stop being afraid of trying something new. Stop being scared of what people are going to say. All that matters in the end is how bad do you want it? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? That is something that is powerful, that we hear everywhere. We read it everywhere, but we're not doing it. It doesn't matter enough to us until it does. So have you guys reached the moment where you're actually sick and tired of being sick and tired, of being lost, of not being organized, of not knowing what success really means, and not knowing who you are? Let's focus on that identity. Yesterday I did a live about acting purposely. Be purposeful, be focused and proactive, be laser focused on doing things on purpose. Put simple. So today I'm giving you guys, make those radical changes that you are running from in order to get the magical results. Something has to change in our life in order for us to get what we want. That's really what it comes down to. Super exciting stuff for me. Super exciting stuff. And I know you can feel it. I know you can feel it in my work, in my words, because I believe this with all my heart. I put it on a story and I made it a reel, and it says, there's this amazing, magical, beautiful feeling that you know that you're doing the right thing. That feeling right there, I mean, it's like when you're in love. Like, you just know it's right. And everything is beautiful, right? So remember, be in love with yourself that much that you're going to make those changes, and you're going to have that faith and that energy, and you're going to get yourself to do those things that you don't want to do, because you know that this is what's going to get you that life that you want. And don't worry about time the same way that you're not going to worry about results right away. Because what happens a lot of times with us is we set a goal and we're waiting on results. And when we don't see those results, guess what happens to us? We get sad and depressed and we feel down. And that's what happens to most people. Focus on the activity. This is something that I've been learning from a great mentor of ours, somebody that my wife introduced to me, and she invested time and money to be able to get really good access to this. And there's so much material out there, guys, that you guys can use. A lot of free material. Okay, but this is something very important. We're focusing on results, and when we don't get the results we want, we give up on the game and we don't try again. And the problem is that you don't need to focus on results. You need to focus on the activity. Your success comes from doing the things that you need to do to get there. Don't worry, you will get there. Okay? But you don't plant a seed and a tree grows in one day. That's not how life works. That's another thing that we need to work on. Being patient. That's where your faith comes in. Do you not have enough faith in God and in yourself to wait for things to work themselves out organically? What I mean by organically is naturally, without pushing it. Why do we want to force things on people, on ourselves? There's no need for it. Your happiness has to come from the fact that you know that you are doing the right thing and that you're going to get yours eventually. That's going to be super important part of your mindset in order to be successful when you are working on starting your own company, your own business, your own venture, your own whatever, your own relationship, parenting, everything, your exercise, your health and fitness journey, everything you're trying to do. No matter what business you're trying to do, no matter what you're trying to do out there, you're trying to be an entrepreneur, and I hope you are, you're going to remember this. Mindset is absolutely everything, and it's super important for you to have the right mindset. What is the right mindset? Focus on doing the activities that bring you success. Do not focus on the results that you are getting. I'm going live. I have 1 like. Who cares? I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. Am I gonna give up because I only have one like? Absolutely not, because what I'm doing, I'm gonna do it all my heart, and I'm gonna throw it out there, and I'm gonna pour it out there. But everybody starts somewhere. You need to start somewhere as soon as possible, and get yourself, and you're gonna learn. Get yourself there little by little, and you're gonna learn. Get yourself there little by little, and you're gonna learn some more. And the learning process is super important, which this brings me to another great point. In your journey, if a baby, a child, a human being, from crawling all around your house, right? All of a sudden they go and they skip crawling, they're like, whoop, they're running. They missed the fundamental step of taking their first steps and falling. Their first steps and falling. So what happens when we start building a house and we skip the foundation and we just start putting whatever on dirt, right? Pillars, this and that, the roof, then boom, everything falls down. Foundation is key. The reason why things take time in life, in this planet Earth, the reason why things take time is because they have to take their natural course. They have to go through the different steps and scenarios. We have to go through the learning process. That helps you get a solid foundation, which is harder to tumble down your house. So this is why you got to remember that you are building a solid foundation in your life, so you're not going to get the apparent payoff right away. You're going to get the real thing in the end. And now when you're older, we're not talking about, man, this person's been doing this for 30 years with no results. No, I promise you that's not going to happen unless you're doing it wrong. There's something wrong that you're doing, and that's why you got to follow principle after principle. What are we talking about? Don't keep doing the same thing over and over expecting different results. You're going to see results, but you need to make changes. You need to grow. You need to learn. You need to be coachable. You need to look out. You need to recognize when you are stuck and you need help. That's super important. That's another thing that I've been really realizing a lot, and as I've been preaching lately, is that together we have the strength to grow. So we need to use those people around us to network with them and let them help us. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to need help. And at the same time, focus on helping people. Focus on giving back, because I know that when I give you guys the value, our connection is gonna be deeper and bigger, right? And the respect will be there, and the seriousness will be there, and then everything else will come after. Because one thing that I learned is that I love learning, and I have this, and when I meet somebody who teaches, it's like there's a bond, there's a connection, there's an admiration that I have. I look at this person and I'm like, man, thank you. Like, I love you for teaching. That's the way I feel, because they're feeding my soul, they're feeding my mind, they're helping me survive in this world because they're teaching something. So I know that I have a lot of respect for people like that. So I know that that's going to happen with me as well, because not everybody is out there teaching. Not everybody's out there sharing. Not everybody's out there helping. People are out there taking, give me more. Here, I got this, buy it from me. No, that's not how it works. You need to give some and give some more and some more to get some. But remember, there's a beautiful thing what happens when you give, guys. You become a happy person. You become a blessed person. You become a successful in the real meaning of the word, okay? And you become good in the book of God out there, because you're doing God's work, right? You're doing our Creator's work. He gave us the opportunity to exist and experience this beautiful life. And guess what? Now we get to give hope to others and help to others and give them something that they can grab on, so they, okay, good, a little push to their car while they start, and boom, there they go, bye. And they're like, thank you. And they're like, no worries, you're welcome. And you feel great that you helped someone out. And guess what? They're on the road by themselves. And that's what it's all about. We're not going to be holding someone's hand forever, but we need to hold hands from those that are going to help us when we need the help. So recognize when you need the help, make some radical changes, get organized by practicing things like having a checklist. Get your vision board going and put there the things that you want. Ask for help when you need it. Help others as much as you can. Share what you know with them. right? That's going to get you. That's going to get you the results that you want, which brings us to don't focus so much on the results. Focus on the activities that you do, right? So, last example, and I'll let you guys go with this because this is such an important thing. The whole focus on the results and not don't focus on the results, focus on the activity thing. Think of it this way. Coca-Cola or a bottling company, a soda company, they're making all these products, right? There's a line, there's machines, there's robots. They're pouring the drink, they're putting it in the can, they're sealing it, they're labeling it. Somebody needs to check it off. What happens in a factory from the beginning, from the get-go, from making the recipe of what's in that delicious Coca-Cola, right? Putting it in a can, putting it in a bottle and shipping it out. And then from there, okay, boom, these are ready, these are ready, these are ready. Let's distribute them. They get on a truck, they show up to the store. You show up to the store. You gotta grab it, take it to that cashier, pay for it. Then you either open it there or you take it home, put it over ice. Man, it's such a long process. It didn't just like boom, Coke, and they got the money. Dude, it went from them producing it and investing money first, right? To then distribute it to the vendors, get some money back finally, right? And then it's like a boom, boom, boom domino effect project. So a domino effect process. So that's just a perfect example that for us to get the water that we want, for us to get this liquid, it had to go through a process. So things don't just happen automatically. So if I was just focusing on the fact that I want to get water, that is my goal. Fine. Where's the results? Oh, they're not here yet. Oh man, I'm getting impatient. Oh, I'm getting sad. I'm getting depressed. I can't take it anymore. I'm giving up. I'm giving up on water. I'm gonna try to do something else. Okay, great. And all of a sudden, the water is ready to go. Boom, there's the water. Oh, there's no one waiting for the water anymore. They're gone. They're sick and tired of waiting. They don't have patience. They're not ready for the water. If you are thirsty, let's see how thirsty you are. You're not ready to wait for this water, then you don't deserve the water. You're not thirsty enough. Someone else is. Someone else is going to have patience. Someone who has faith in the process is going to get the water because they're waiting for everything to go through his rightful process, right? A natural, organic life process that everything has to go through, right? So all of a sudden you get your water and then you can reap the results. Don't focus on the results, focus on the activity of putting that water together, of going out and getting that water, right? You know, like people live in those towns where like, oh yeah, where's water? Yeah, there's water down there, down there. You're gonna walk about a mile, you're gonna take this bucket with you and you're gonna get some water from the river. Like what? Like, you know, we're like super spoiled, right? We got water easily, right? So again, there's a process to get us the water, but we give up in the way. We don't want to put in the work. We don't want to struggle. We don't have patience to wait for results. But guess what? Everything in life takes activity. Don't focus on your results. Focus on doing the activity that's going to get you what you want in life, because that way you won't give up so quick. Super important. Super important. It's super important to do things little by little. Get out of your comfort zone, Veronica. I'm so happy you're saying this. I'm going live tomorrow, getting out of my comfort zone little by little. That sounds amazing. You have any questions, anything I can help you, you already know. I'll see you on Messenger, but I am looking forward to supporting you and going on your live and giving you some love and sharing it on my stories, whatever it takes to help you get off the ground where you're trying to get off the ground. And you have so much potential in you that all you need to do is like, okay, get organized. I'm telling you, someone like you has a lot of things going on. You need to get that checklist, guys. Get a little notebook and start making your checklist for what you want to do. What do you need to do? Put it on a checklist and then boom, guess what? Scratch it off. Scratch it off. Done. I have to go to the mail. Done. I have to do laundry. Done. I have to do homework with my kids. Done. I have to do a post. Doom. I have to go live. Done. I have to go pay a bill. Done. What's going to happen with you psychologically when you see that list of everything that's done, even the most simple things? You're going to get a boost of self-love, a boost of confidence of what? Accomplishments. You're getting stuff done. It's so simple. It might be so corny, but it is so important that successful people have a calendar. Successful people have a planner. Successful people have a checklist. Okay? Have a checklist. So like I said in the beginning, if you missed it in the video, you can do a checklist at nighttime for the next day, or you can do it early in the morning. And yes, go live, make those changes. If there's something that you need to move in your business, there's something that needs to change. Perfect. Okay, what am I not doing that I'm supposed to do? Because look, this world is filled with information, guys. I'm sure all of you guys have heard what I have said in this video at least once, right? But guess what happens? A lot of times we don't make it, so we don't do it. We don't make it happen. So what's gonna happen is that, we hear all these things, but we just don't get ourselves around to do it. So that's why it's so important that you do those radical changes to get the magical results. Step outside of your comfort zone and get it done. Try it out. But again, give yourself a challenge. Don't focus on the results that you're going to get. Don't get discouraged. I'm doing a live with no views. So I spent all last week, Monday through Friday, doing lives. My live interaction and you guys watching me and everything has improved over the days. Let me tell you guys a secret about Facebook. Facebook wants you guys to be there consistently. That's what they want. They want you guys not only, and I'm not saying posting 1,000,000 times a day. Don't get it wrong. Everybody's algorithm is different. My algorithm, for example, right now works really well when I just post one good thing a day. And right now I'm going live because I told myself I'm going to go live Monday through Friday. Okay. So like everybody is different. So figure out what works for you, but you don't have to post 1,000,000 times a day. But if you post every day, trust me, it's going to make an impact in your life. Going live every day or every two days, it's going to make an impact in your life. Step outside your comfort zone like I did and go ahead and do it. Why? You're going to feel good about yourself too. You're going to be able to make new connections. People need to see who you are. What do you sound like? What do you have to offer in this world? What do you have to say? They don't know. The way to make your, I was talking with somebody, an employee of mine for my full-time job. Sometimes I have these conversations with them. We have downtime and I try to get to know them, what's on their mind, because every human being you meet, you learn something. There's something interesting about people, and I'm barely becoming this person that's interested in people, which is super important. This is a radical change for me that's bringing me magical results, because all the great leaders, all the great bosses, all those great managers over the years in my business, in my stores, those people that someone comes in, let's say I get a customer and they're like, hey, is Juan here or is Ron here? Someone who worked there before. No, you know what? He doesn't work here anymore. Oh man, like people come 8, 9, 10, 5, 6, 4 years later asking for that person that worked there. Why? Because this person made an impact in their life. They were known for what? Having conversations, bonding, connecting, networking, whatever it is. So the one manager doesn't want to deal with people, doesn't want to talk to nobody, that always looks upset, that is stressed out from his job, that doesn't want to talk and connect with the guests. Customers who go to your restaurant or your place or your business every single day, they want to connect with you. You have to understand that if you run a business, no matter what it is, you need to be connecting with your audience on a daily basis, people. In one way or another. It doesn't have to be super amazing amount of posts or 40 stories or 7 reels or a TikTok. You don't go nuts. You don't have to do all these crazy things, but make sure that you're connecting. Offer them something. Give them something to connect with you with, right? Take 10 minutes out of your day to go and interact with them, right? To show them that you love their story and their picture, because you really do. You see a picture of somebody with their family, you're like, man, this is gorgeous. Then tell them what you're thinking. Tell people what you're thinking so they know that. And that's the best thing that you can do for your business, right? So, because that's what business is all about. This is the whole point of what I'm saying right now. I'm talking to this employee and I'm asking him, okay, so like, he asked me if he can ship something to the business, to the store, and because he was a little bit afraid of it being delivered, not being delivered to his house when he wasn't there, blah blah blah, something like that. So anyways, he ended up figuring it out. And then I asked him, but it's this weird instrument, which he wasn't even able to tell me the name, but it's like from medieval times, and it's handcrafted, and it's a couple hundreds of dollars, and they send it over the mail, and he's still waiting for it for 2 months. Something great, something amazing, right? So, and I'm like, damn, like, and then he also likes photography. So, I told him, so what do you do outside of work? Because I'm trying to find out about him, right? Like, he does some photography, some video editing. I know he worked, he wanted to be a park ranger. So when I'm listening to him, what are all these things that he has in common? park ranger, photographer, musician, in a way, with this weird instrument that you won't see normally. What else? He also invests, and he's actually good, because we talked about investing. You guys know me, I love trading, all that, investing. So anyways, we talked about that, and he's like, everything was telling me was on point, like this guy knows what he's doing, and he has a good portfolio. um so he has a good portfolio. And the point is that, anyways, all these things that he is, and he's a quiet guy, is introverted stuff. What does this mean? To himself. Park ranger, somewhere alone in the mountains, making sure that the forest is okay. What else? What other? Photographer. Do you see a lot of photographers talking to all these people? No, man, they're out there taking pictures, and I know, because I'm one of my best friends in my younger years. He was a photographer, and he was mostly a quiet guy too. The musician with the medieval, instrument, that who's he gonna jam out with that thing? That's like to for you to entertain yourself. All these things are solo work. They don't involve people. He keeps to himself. So I told him, but he has that thrive. Like, he wants he wants to be successful. He wants to do things. He's always asking, like, how can I learn this? Can you teach me this? Can I work this position? And that's pretty much what I'm doing with him. I'm showing him every position in the business, so he learns, right? I'm giving this person a chance. So, like, I'm like, dude, you know what? How are your people skills? Oh, that's something I need to work on, because I didn't talk a lot before, but now I'm talking more. So, bingo, right? Like this is what we need to realize, is that if you're doing business, you need to get outside of your comfort zone of not dealing with people. And again, ask my wife, the reason I almost didn't want to start my new venture was because I didn't want to deal with people. I wasn't ready to deal with people right away. But guess what? I don't care about that anymore, because my vision and my goals and what I put in my vision board matters more to me than not going live here and talking to you guys. Like, I don't care about anything else. I'm just giving you my all right now. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, making those connections. So this person that I'm talking to you about, this friend of mine, he's very introverted. So I told him, oh, that's something that I want to work on. And I'm like, yes, that's something that you're going to need to work on, because if you want to be a musician, you're going to have to network and work with different minds, work with different people. You can't be too quiet. You want to be a photographer? How are you going to promote your work? How are you going to get your stuff out there? You need to be a people person, right? What else? Investing, sure, you invest on yourself, but again, like I told them, in business, in life, it's all relationships, it's all conversations, it's all talking, it's all networking, it's all getting to know one another. It's all about putting yourself out there, and you don't have to be this amazing, bubbly person, but you could train yourself to be more like that. If you're a little bit more dry and more serious, well, you can get to the point where you are more out there. But guess what? It all starts by doing it little by little. But not little by little and then forgetting. No, little by little, consistently. I bring us to this point, and I don't want to take more of you guys' time. Share this with anybody that you think that can take value for it. Share it to anyone that you know that needs this. Give me some love, give me some hearts, give some likes. Do all that good stuff, because obviously, that helps us in what we do. But super important to remember this, guys. Make radical changes to get those radical or magical results, and be consistent. Once you found what you love, let's give it a go. Let's give it a push. Let's get it off the ground, right? You start your car, boom, 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 right? There's an initial spark, and there's a rotation in your starter to your radiator, to this and that, and to every little alternator, right? Because if not, the battery is drained from the energy, so the alternator gets the pieces going. And the alternator, technically what it does, it uses the energy from the battery to boom, start, and then it does its job. But if your alternator messes up, then your battery is being drained from energy, and next thing you know, your battery dies. So you see that we need to get those mechanisms going for us, so our battery doesn't die. Our life expectancy, what do we want to go to, what do we want to do, etc. So I see some messages coming in from people, so I gotta reach out to them. I promise you guys, don't focus on the results anymore. Let's focus on the activity. What are we gonna do? Everything I talk to. If you already forgot, go back to the beginning of the video. If you already forgot because I talked too fast, go back to the beginning of the video. Let's see if there's a feature where you can slow it down. I'm sure there's an app out there. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to go live about, but I'll see you guys Wednesday. And if you have anything special, or not special, if you have anything, absolutely anything that we should talk about, I'll see you guys on Messenger. Peace.